The following is an Outdoor Channel original production.
After 2 days of competition, the La Paz World Cup of Spearfishing is still anyone's to win. But Brazilian spearfishing maestro Francisco Loffredi has a significant lead. And we join him on day 3, a mid-tournament day of rest, where competitors are allowed to scout the area. We'll observe his style and learn a few of his secrets. Another perfect morning dawns on the Sea of Cortez, and the ocean is as calm as a mountain lake, as the Panga captains ready their boats for another day of guiding the competitors. But the pace this morning is much more relaxed. After 2 days of competing, they will use this day for scouting the island. Ahead of them lie 2 more days of competition that will decide the winner of the La Paz World Cup of Spearfishing.
Another epic day of conditions. You look at the Sea of Cortez here, looks like a lake here at La Paz. We've just had 2 days of tournament. Today's a rest day. Are the competitors resting? No, they're right back out there. They're gonna use today to scout the island, seeing what fish are happening where. Very exciting. We've got very close competition. Francisco's in first. He's hit some really nice fish, including the biggest wahoo of the tournament. Second place right behind him, we've got GR from Florida. He hasn't got anything really big, but he's a systematic hunter. He's got all different species covered. He's looking for a big fish, and they're pretty close in points. Third place is Marcus from Australia. He's put something on the board every single day. He's got Dorado, he's got wahoo. The name of the game now is going to be for people to find big amberjack. Yesterday we had boats go north for the first time. I predict that people are going to be scouting up north today looking for amberjack. The water's a little bit colder up north. That's where the amberjack are. So if people can start putting some big amberjack on the beach, they're going to blow away the competition. Anybody's ball game right now.
Current World Cup leader, Francisco Loffredi of Brazil, will not let this scouting day go to waste.
Olá, Chapolin! Buenos dias, man. Tudo bem? I'm Francisco Loffredi from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. I spearfish a lot in Rio. It's a different spearfishing than we do here. It's more grouper and caves. So my purpose of coming here to compete in the Blue Water Open is to learn this new trade in spearfishing and be able to be among the best blue water spear fishermen and learn from them. I don't know how, but somehow I'm in first place halfway in the comp. So I'm starting to take it a little bit more seriously. So the day off I'm gonna take to scout and try to plan my next 2 days and try to win. I'm an underdog or a wild card. I don't have blue water gear. I don't have blue water experience. I'm just trying to use my grouper gear in these conditions. I think at some moments lighter gun were useful and gave me an edge, but let's see how it turns out. I've been spearfishing since I'm 15 years old, free diving since I'm a kid. My father free dived, so oldest recollections I have with my father's free diving in Rio. Rio's really good because there are a lot of islands and diving spots right in front of the city, right off the beach. I can go with my wetsuit down the elevator, my building, cross the street, get in the water, shoot lobster, grouper, amberjack, and tons of fish. If we get a boat, 10-minute sail, we're in front of the islands where, you know, there are big groupers. So for many years, I've done commercial fishing, commercial spearfishing, but it's a dying trade, hard work, so I try to evolve.
As Francisco settles in for the ride to Cerralvo Island, another panga full of competitors gives him the thumbs up. As the leader of the competition, you have to stay focused and not let it go to your head. First place can change hands in a single day. Midway through the La Paz World Cup of Spearfishing, the competitors are given a day of rest to catch their breath and scout for big pockets of fish that will increase their score. With a sizable lead, Brazilian spearfisher Francisco Loffredi is determined to hold on to first place. Current World Cup leader Francisco Loffredi settles in while panga captain Chapolin heads for the north end of Cerralvo Island. So far, most of the action has taken place on the south end, where the big wahoo and dorado are plentiful. Francisco has already added most of the important fish species to his score. What he needs next is a big amberjack, and the north end of Cerralvo is usually where they can be found.
This is Lorena Rock. It's off the north tip of Cerralvo Island. It's considered one of the best diving spots. I've seen fish here, but I've seen also those big sea lions. I don't have experience with that, so I'm a little bit weary about them. People told me to ignore them. They're just gonna charge at you and show their teeth. So, well, thank you. Haven't helped me relax about it. So let's see what happens. If you want to call the boat in the ocean, it's a lot of noise. It's hard for the boat to hear you. If you give them a nice macho call, hey, hey, I'm here, they won't listen to you. So you have to have a high pitch and a variation for the skipper to hear you. My call, and it works well, is "Oya, woo! Oya, woo!" The variation that helps the boat hear you, and sometimes that's important or key. If you have a big fish, need a second shot, need the panguero to come quickly, hey, I'm here, oh, that won't help. This is the best place for amberjack. I'm scouting for amberjack. That's what I need to shoot tomorrow to do well in the comp. So he's gonna drop me off up current, and I'm gonna come with the current to reach the best spot. I don't wanna just jump from the boat in the best spot with the engine going. It gives me a time to warm up and kind of surprise the fish, or at least not scare them off.
The current here on the north end of Cerralvo Island is almost always strong. So you have to figure out where you might see fish and jump in way up current and drift back over it. Then you get back in the boat and do it again.
¿Puedes poner el pollo?
Sí.
Pero atención para no,
Sí,
el
no
pollo
perderlo.
no subir en la piedra.
Perfecto.
Ok, estoy bajando.
The first drift dive of the day begins. Chapolin brings the hanging flasher, but Francisco decides to just drift and explore on this first dive.
I'm scouting for amberjack. That's what I need to shoot tomorrow to do well in the comp.
Midway through the La Paz World Cup of Spearfishing, we are following the current leader, Francisco Loffredi. Today is just for scouting, and Francisco is looking for amberjack, the one fish he truly needs. But if he shoots one today, it won't count towards his score. If the amberjacks show up, will it be too hard to resist? This place, called La Reina, which is Spanish for the Queen, is a wild and beautiful place. It's only 70 to 200 feet deep in most areas, but it has great bottom structure for attracting lots of small fish, which attract bigger fish. You never know what will show up out here. Huge schools of bonita, sharks, and the ever-present sea lions. It's easy to just become lost in the beauty of this place. Suddenly, something catches Francisco's eye. A school of amberjacks swim by just out of range. Francisco decides not to chase them. He knows he will see them again soon, and no sense in spooking them.
I saw the school again, the school of amberjack, and there's a 100-pound one. So I'm gonna go for it. It's one drift. If I get the opportunity, I'll go for the perfect shot. If not, we move on and continue scouting. 100-pound amberjack. You can't look away to this opportunity.
Once again, Francisco drops in up current of where he saw the school of amberjack. This time, he's ready for them. He cocks the bands on the Speargun. Francisco dives on the same exact spot where the amberjack were before. Smack dab into a passing school of fat amberjacks. Francisco waits until the last moment to look directly at them before firing. He places the shot perfectly in the head, but the fish is barely phased and begins pulling hard as Francisco heads for the surface. The fish continues to struggle hard. Francisco motions for the boat.
What are you waiting for now? Top
Second gun. Oh yeah! Woo!
He calls for the second spear gun.
La segunda arma.
You can see here just how powerful an amberjack actually is as the fish begins dragging him deeper through the water. After shooting a good-sized amberjack and going for a ride,
Oh yeah! Woo! La segunda arma.
Francisco Loffredi has the panga skipper Chapolin toss him a second gun. Most of the competitors are using float lines made of rubber tubing with a cord inside. Francisco prefers ordinary heavy cord like you would find at the hardware store. Loading one band quickly, he wants to put an end to this fight. It's starting to wear him down, and he will have to dive deep to get to the amberjack. When you're already tired from fighting a fish, diving 70 feet for a second shot becomes a challenge. Francisco Loffredi wants to end this fight with a second spear. But the amberjack continues to fight, so he heads for the surface, completely exhausted.
I don't know what this amberhead has in its head, but I don't think it's flesh because it got 2 shots in the brain. Both look like perfect shots, but it's still alive. But with 2 secure shots, I can drag him off. At least try to.
With 2 spears in the fish, there's little danger of losing it. So Francisco works it up to the surface and displays the 2 perfectly placed shots. Hard to believe this fish had any fight left at all.
I saw a few amberjack from the surface, and you can't swim at them. You gotta ignore them. So I went down without looking at them. And to the depth I thought it was appropriate. And when I was already on the bottom, leveled and ready to shoot, I lifted my head and they were curious. They were already surrounding me.
The amberjack, like most fish, will get spooked if you stare at it. Remember, a fish swims all day looking at other fish and other beings and saying, eat or be eaten, friend or unfriendly. So they develop a skill that just by glancing at other beings, they can tell if you're a friend or not. I'm there to shoot him, to fish him. So if I stare at him, he can see in my eyes that I'm gonna try to kill him. So I avoid looking at him or staring at them the whole school until the last second. Only when I'm in the bottom with my gun already facing the fish that I finally turn my head towards them. And once I do that, they get nervous, but then it's too late. Well, we reached the end of our scouting day. It was very productive. I found the amberjacks I was looking for. I shot one just to understand the behavior of the school, what happens after one of them are shot. So I feel prepared for tomorrow. Just go home, eat well, have a good night's rest. I'm not supposed to win this competition. I'm not a blue water hunter, but halfway through the comp, I'm on the lead, so I would say I have a chance. I'm the wild card, as they put it. So I have to focus on the amberjack, and I need 4 fish to win the comp.
Without our captains, we can't have a tournament. These guys are the eyes and ears of the tournament.
The awards ceremony begins with a fitting tribute to the Panga captains. But it would be Brazilian Francisco Loffredi's night, as he is crowned the 2013 La Paz World Cup champion.